Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the ARRY Carto Tank V3, which I received. Well, I received it directly from the manufacturer himself, whose name, funny enough, is ARRY, or that's his forum name. But he has asked me to point out that these are available at www.mojorepublic.com. Before I start, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review. My opinion of the product remains true, honest and accurate, as always. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and show you in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we have the parts that make up the ARRY Carto Tank V3. Now, you're not going to get all the parts that you see here. For example, you won't receive a drip tip, and as far as I'm aware, you also won't receive a cartomizer. These will need to be sort of purchased separately. You do get two of these O-rings. You get one of the tanks, and you get two of these Delrin end caps, and one of them has a 510 connection built into it, and I'll show you that as we progress with the review. Now, the tank has actually changed material now, because what was happening is on the original versions of the ARRY Carto tank, some people who were using like a sort of certain DIY e-liquids was noticing that the actual flavourings were having a reaction with the material of the tank and causing it to crack. And so the manufacturer has now actually changed the material to this chemically inert material. It didn't actually give me the actual name of the material, but it says it's a chemically inert material. It's used by very large sort of pharmaceutical companies such as GlaxoSmithKline, and it will no longer react to any sort of dodgy e-liquids, basically, which is a good thing. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is basically punch a hole in your cartomizer at around 8mm up, but available separately from the directly from the manufacturer. These aren't on the Mojo website. You have to get these directly from ARRY. Is a punch tool, basically. The way to do it, or one way to do it, is basically sort of measure up 8mm from that edge there, and then get a nail and just sort of quickly tap it in there and just sort of punch the hole. If you've got a Dremel, you can also sort of use a cutting tool to just put a little slot there. Or if you've got one of these, which is a very groovy little tool, all you've got to do is just screw in the cartomizer, and you can take this sort of nail or spike that drops into the top there. Put that down on your table, whack it with the hammer, and when you take it out, you've got a nice neat hole there. And it literally takes about sort of 2 seconds to do, which is pretty handy. Okay, so once you've got your hole in your cartomizer, you then need to fill it up. I personally have been putting the hole in first and then filling up the cartomizer, and I've not had any problems at all. Okay, so this cartomizer is already filled up with my e-liquid. So the first thing I need to do, and this is very important, is put on this little tiny O-ring, and that just goes over the bottom there, like so. And then you take this part of your, or this end of this end cap, basically the one with the 510 connection, and you just got to screw the cartomizer into it, and just got to make sure it's sort of fairly tight. You don't need to go sort of too mad, but don't sort of fairly tight. And as you can see, the hole is just above the actual top of the end cap there. Next thing you do is take the tank and then screw that on. And I don't know if you can see it because it is a black on black, but the end caps do have a big rubber O-ring there as well. Obviously, it's just going to sort of help prevent any sort of leakages, which I've had absolutely no leaks whatsoever using this tank. It's been fantastic. Okay, so and then you've got that like that. So now all you've got to do now is get your e-liquid. I've just got some menthol flavoured juice here, and literally just got to pour it down the side there and fill it up. I've been filling it up so almost sort of to the top. So you've got a bit of a gap there. One thing I did forget to mention, you do need to leave the white cap in there, and just make sure that it's not going inside. It needs to be sort of sitting, on top of it, basically, just like how you would find like it normally on the cartomizer. And once that's in place, you just take the other end cap and screw that on top. So you can see the actual white cap in the centre there. Then take your drip tip, put that in the top there, and that's it, you're all done. So very nice and simple. Like I said, not had any leaks whatsoever. you know, just works extremely well. And the best thing about it for me, I really love this design. I like the fact that it's screwing into an adapter which you then screw into your device. It just seems to make it a lot more stable. And the best thing about it is that when you want to change your e-liquid, unscrew that, fill up your e-liquid, screw it back on. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Okay then, so that is the ARRY Carto tank. It's all full up, ready to rock and roll. So I'll stick it on I'm going to put it on my lava tube and show you how it vapes. Okay, so that is the ARRY Carto Tank V3. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and give you a demonstration of it in action. So I've just got it filled up with some 18mg strength tobacco flavoured e-liquid, and I'm using a 3 ohm bow cartomizer on my lava tube, which is currently set at 4.8 volts. And as you can see, you know, it chucks out plenty of vapour. Obviously, the amount of vapour you're going to get will be dependent on what sort of type, what resistance cartomizer you're using, what sort of e-liquid you're using. Obviously, if you've got a variable voltage device, and again, on what sort of voltage you're vaping at as well. But with the setup I've got here, you know, as you can see, like tons of vapour coming out. Now up until about, I've had this now for about a week, and I've had another tank system, another Carto tank system, about another week before that one, before this one should I say. And up until that point, the only tank systems I've been using have been the clearer miser versions, which, you know, I have, you know, really enjoyed using. But one of the issues with those is that once the juice sort of gets sort of, you know, sort of below halfway, then you start getting a few wicking problems, and every now and again you've got to sort of turn it upside down to obviously aid the wicking process. But with the Carto tanks, they're so much better. They really are. I mean, like, you just don't get any wicking problems whatsoever. Obviously, you've got a little hole down the bottom now. All the juice just goes straight in now. You know, you never get a dry hit ever, and you can vape the whole tank from start to finish without having to sort of worry about anything at all. You know, really are, for me personally, a massive, massive improvement over the clearer misers. And you still get absolutely tons of flavour, tons of throat hit, and obviously tons of vapour in that as well. And with this particular one, the ARRY Carto tank, for me, it's definitely the best design. It may not be the nicest looking Carto tank system out there, but it's definitely 100% the best designed one that I've used or that I've seen on the internet, on the forums now, because it's just so simple to use. You know, and I like the way that it's got a very solid feel to it. You know, you screw, rather than screwing the cartomizer into the actual sort of device, you're screwing it into another adapter there, which then screws it in. And all you got to do to fit it up is literally unscrew the top, put your juice in, screw the top back on, and that's it, you start vaping again. And for me, I mean, I'm not too sure how you can actually sort of better that design, really. You know, so for me, this has been an absolute joy to use. Not a great deal else I can really sort of tell you about it. You know, it works absolutely brilliantly. It's extremely simple to use. You never get any dry hits. You're getting tons of flavour, tons of throat hit, tons of vapour. You know, what more can you really ask out of a Carto tank system? You know, so if you do fancy trying one of these out for yourself, now if you're a member of the UK Vapors forum at ukvapors.com, I think you might be a member of other forums as well, but if you see somebody called ARRY, ARRY, then you can send them a private message to inquire about sort of purchasing one. or you can go directly, or not directly, or you can go via Mojo Republic at www.mojorepublic.com, who sell them via ARRY. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.